Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Dr. Fab. How are you?
Well, I've been looking forward to this call. As you know, I got introduced to invisa-RED when I heard you guys speak at an event recently. And man, I'm telling you, your science is so great. And by the way, if you don't mind, I'm going to record this because I want to show it to my team. And I want to make sure that they get to hear everything that you're going to tell me. But I'm excited. We just got our unit, so we're super excited to start using it. But I really wanted to have this call, and I'm very excited that you guys offer this onboarding process, primarily because I realized that the more educated that I am as a provider, as a doctor, the better that I'm going to utilize this technology that I just got. And you know what I told Doug when I met him is, one of the things that I love about your technology is, as a chiropractor, there's nothing more appealing that people out there are struggling with their weight and the obesity challenges. And now I know I'm going to be able to attract so many more new patients into my practice, but also help educate people as to how to be able to maintain their weight while I'm introducing them to the values of what I went to school for. So I think this is one of the best things. But I gotta say, honestly, I've been watching different technologies out there. And what I've been always leery about is that there's so many gimmicks when it comes to fat loss and weight loss. But when I looked at your FDA approvals and your science and your studies, man, I gotta say that just did it for me. So I just wanna say thank you for bringing this technology. I know you've had to spend probably a lot of money going through all that research, but now we have a machine that actually works and that can help our patients be healthier and lose weight. But more importantly, give us an opportunity to attract that 85% of the patients that are not coming to us, primarily because they're not thinking chiropractic, but they're thinking, hey, I got to lose some weight, you know?
Yeah, thank you. That means a lot to us. You putting your faith in our device and in our company. We've known who you are and what you do for a long time. We've been watching you, and one of our goals actually since we started was to get Dr. Fab on board. And it's for us, it's kind of like, it's really, really great. So we're like,
and it's interesting to see that I'm your customer now, and I'm all in. I tell you, I'm all in because I see the value, but I want you to kind of guide me a little bit. I mean, I saw the presentation and I can't wait to start using it, and we have the machine ready to go. But tell me a little bit about what is the main value that I got, and
Yeah,
I'll share my screen with us.
yeah, we got some visuals for you that'll help.
oh, beautiful, man.
We'll talk you through it, but I just wanted to get them up, and we'll share these with you as well, and with the team.
Thank
A
you.
lot of what we do is done via Zoom, and all of the documents and the images that you see are
By the
shared.
way, the machine could not be more sexier. This is like, I always want technology that makes chiropractic offices look good. This machine definitely does that. So just so you know.
Thank you. It's actually done really well. The older model was, obviously just as efficient as far as usage goes, but we just tried to glam it up a little. We wanted to make it a little bit more fabulous for Dr. Fab.
Well, awesome, buddy. All right, so tell me what I got.
Yeah, so primarily, I mean, obviously the weight loss component, the biggest value is the amount of people that it drives into the chiropractic office. The biggest issue that we see as we talk to the doctors, and again, I would say about 80% of our business is chiropractic providers. Why? So number one, we really wanted to introduce this to the chiropractic market because this is where it needs to be. It's wellness based, and the chiropractor brings a holistic approach to wellness. And this device really marries, that component together. And it fits in so well, but it drives in just a ton of folks to the practice that wouldn't have walked in the door otherwise. Not everybody has huge marketing campaigns, and this is something that is a phenomenal marketing tool. When you think about chiropractic marketing or the education of what chiropractic can do for the patients, only about 8% of America is educated on it. So we're looking at this modality of weight loss, which is a huge epidemic in the country, and it consumes about literally 85% of America. So we've got 92% of that population that's untapped currently for the chiropractors, that they could come in and change their life through weight loss, but also converting them into chiropractic. But how do we reach them? We do it by marketing weight loss with a device that gives results.
Well,
So,
one of the things that I like is the fact that, in our practices, we get a lot of back pain, as you know, and many of these patients, 70% or so, according to the CDC, come in overweight. So a lot of times we don't know what to do for them, but we know that their weight issues is impacting their back pain, etc. But I know a lot of times we can help them with their back pain, but nobody really sees the back pain loss, But if we can help them also lose weight, imagine the potential of referrals of their friends and family that are going to say, hey, ever since you've been going to that chiropractor, you lost 5 pounds, 10 pounds. What are you doing over there? That is what I see the value, because, every year, the Fox News and others, they ask me to do segments on New Year's resolutions and what are people's goals today. And inevitably, the top 5, one of the things that have always shown up is people want to lose weight. So I think you're nailing this, right? Exactly where it needs to be. And I do think that if there's any one topic where we can grab that 90% that's not coming to see us, I think weight loss is probably the best, but do it in a way that is credible, not just offer them gimmick things that so many people do, but something that makes us feel more credible, that has science, and not only that, but that gets results.
Yeah, definitely, because the patient results is really what creates the longevity of success within the practice, right? So as a chiropractor in your area, your patients love you because you fix their body and you fix their issues. And if you have a service line that doesn't produce the results they're looking for, it's very short-lived. So you're right. With this device here, it allows for patients to actually lose weight at a very high level. And it does create tremendous referrals. People love it. It's successful and a huge hit in every town. And another thing that's pretty funny, I've heard it so many times, you have mentioned about bad backs and bad knees. A lot of our clients, when they're telling their other chiropractic friends about us is, look, if you're looking for bad backs and bad knees, get invisa-RED and bring the overweight people in, because they all have those issues, So another great statistic is the conversion from weight loss into chiropractic. So most of these patients move into an exam, and about 50% of those weight loss patients move into long-term chiropractic patients nationwide, which is really great. Wow. So it increases the core business tremendously, and it allows for y'all to just extend your reach really, really greatly. So that's the first one. The next one's going to be the competitive advantage over other devices. So what's substantial about invisa-RED is it's literally the only FDA, IRB, and clinically proven device that can actually produce tangible results for weight loss, so weight reduction, fat reduction, and inch loss. And we've done it at a very high level. I'm going to go into the clinicals with you, like a quick overview here in a couple slides. So that's huge. Again, results, real patient results is important. There's a lot of other lights that are out there to choose from. Their marketing may say one thing, but the results do show another. So those lipolasers that are there, they're not designed for the specific modality of weight loss. They're actually designed for skin tightening. And their technology is built around red light, which only absorbs into epidermal tissue and not fat tissue. So that's the primary difference. If you have patients come in and they're asking about, oh, hey, I may have tried this one before and it may not have worked. Well, here's the difference. invisa-RED is actually a fat reduction machine, and our technology is built to stimulate cellular respiration, ATP synthesis, and to use that fat and burn it upwards of actually averaging over 0.5 pound of fat loss per treatment. So those patients can be confident that if they move forward in a program with you, that they're going to lose weight, even if they've been burned before with other devices that may not have produced that. And again, we can show them all the credentials and the FDA backing it. And then they can also talk to other people in the local area. You know, we have over 1,400 providers nationwide. So there's so many testimonials and people's lives that have changed, and they've been able to lose weight very easily with this. So that's going to be the biggest competitive advantage when it comes to your device now versus the others. Okay. The next component is the marketing support and also the marketing that we provide for y'all. So again, this is a new service line. So marketing it in it can be a little tricky, and not everybody's a marketing master like yourself, right? But we've really fine-tuned the marketing piece, and we've been in the business. Actually, today is invisa-RED's 8th birthday, by the way. So today's September 14th. And it's also Jonathan's birthday as well. He's turning.
All right. Happy
24.
birthday, buddy.
So we've been in the business for a long time. So we know how to market this service line at a high level. And what we do is we include initial marketing for you guys, where we do the paid ads. And we drive in on average 20 to 30 consults every 30 days that come in the house, show up, get a demo because the results show in the initial demo, and then they buy and they move forward in a package, which is so great. So that's something that definitely helps out tremendously. Then on the back end, after that, we have all the marketing support that you need. So you have full access to our graphics and IT department. We can build websites. We can build any ads. We have tons of templates that are already pre-built, anything from SMS all the way through web marketing and print ads, which is really good. So, you've got two things that are really going to be helpful. Number one is a really quality device that produces results with every patient. The next thing is you've got us helping you market this service line and to drive in a ton of folks so that you can get a great return on your investment, which happens very, very fast. As you've seen, most of the doctors that talk about it, it's literally anywhere from 24 hours to 2 weeks, which is phenomenal.
Well, one of the things that I was excited about is, even though I may be knowledgeable in some marketing things, this has been your sweet spot, and you have already fine-tuned and developed templates that I get access to. And one of the things that I've always felt in chiropractic when I have vendors at Parker seminars and all that is that very few of them they did a great job in getting us to purchase the equipment or whatever product, but they don't teach us how to utilize that equipment to drive traffic into our practices. So one of the things that I was very excited is that you guys include some of that marketing for the beginning months. So that way I can actually begin to get that return on investment very quickly. And I don't have to be depending on my uncertainty of, I don't know how to sell this. I don't know how to invite people to come here. I don't even know how to do a Facebook ad or a Google ad. So the fact that you guys have very solid graphic team, and I met some of your graphic people. I mean, you have a great marketing team that we have access to initially at no cost, and that's going to drive a lot of traffic. So I'm excited about leveraging that because I have a lot of followers, but I got to know what to sell them on and how to sell them properly. And that's what you guys are bringing to the table,
Yes, sir. Definitely. I'm going to dive in a little bit here to the actual technology component, just because it's so important. And, this is really what sets us apart as a company and the device. And I can't reiterate it enough. I don't want to sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but literally, this is the only non-invasive device that's cleared for these outcomes. And we have the clinicals that were tremendous. We were actually mandated by the FDA several years ago to conduct a double-blind clinical, which was pretty tough, and it was kind of scary, right? Because we know the machine works well, but we just wanted to see what they were going to give us rating-wise, and they came back with a really high rating, the highest rating, which is they deemed the study statistically significant, which is pretty tremendous. But they gave us a 95% confidence interval on all three outcome measures. And that's the difference between us and everybody else. We actually have outcome measures for fat reduction, actual scalable weight loss, and inch loss, not just inch loss. And the study was conducted over 3 weeks. The patients, there was no diet or exercise associated with it, no supplements. This was device usage only, which is so impressive. And we actually averaged, you can see right here on our outcome measures, the first one being the percentage of body fat removed in 9 total treatments. And these are 15-minute treatments. So we actually average almost 2%. So 1.75% total reduction in body fat. Actual pounds, we averaged 4.5 pounds of fat loss. So that's literally over half a pound of fat loss every time somebody takes a 15-minute nap on the treatment table.
Wow. Well, for me, as a doctor of chiropractic, I'm always fighting credibility because a lot of the public doesn't really understand what we do. And then we have other medical providers out there that are trying to tell their patients not to go see chiropractors. So for me to be able to show my patients science, and this is honestly one of the things that first of all, I love the treatment, and I saw already like 2 inches. In one treatment, I saw the benefits immediately, and I wanted to make sure that, so I know that it works, but it was a science that it made me feel very comfortable because, I have other people looking at me, and I can't afford out there as a doctor of chiropractic to put something that doesn't have some credibility. And I know that these studies are not inexpensive. I know you've actually spent a lot of time, energy, and money putting this together. But the fact that you have this level of results, that gives me the confidence to know that whenever I recommend a patient to do it, I feel comfortable that they're going to get the results they're looking for. But more importantly, it makes the patient feel confident that what I'm recommending is backed up by something that other than hearsay. And that's something why I think this product continues to be so successful for you guys, but I can't wait to start using it for my tribe,
Yes, sir. And yeah, so the results were phenomenal. Those are stone tablet now, and nobody can touch them. And we stand alone as far as those outcome measures go, which is great. And again, it gives the patient so much confidence knowing, hey, look, this is what I can expect if I do nothing but just show up for my treatments, which is really good. So
love it.
Yep, we'll move on of a little bit of how it works. And I know, you're very high level when it comes to science and technology, just giving you a quick overview. Primarily the lipo lasers that are out there, they're using a red light frequency, which is great. There's a lot of benefits for it. But the problem with just red light alone, the monochromatic light, is the fact that it doesn't absorb into adipose tissue, fat tissue, or yellow pigmentation. So if we were to just use the red light, we wouldn't be able to stimulate any type of cellular process within the fat cells. We actually are using infrared as the workhorse for the cellular metabolism here. And what we've been able to figure out is actually the delivery mechanism of how to take that infrared and get it down into the subcutaneous fat. Because it will absorb into epidermal tissue too. Our body receives it very, very well. So primary thing is we're using 2 different laser frequencies. And again, I say laser because it's not an LED. This is actually
Oh, I lost your sound there for a minute.
Okay. Yep.
Good.
Yep, got it. So it's a class 3 cold laser versus an LED. So it's producing a lot of power. Actually, upwards of over 60 watts of laser energy is being consumed in the body during any given time, which is great. But we actually have figured out how to utilize the coherency of these 2 lasers to get them to bind. We use our red light, the red laser that's there, to absorb into the epidermal tissue, and we pump this infrared, I almost called it invisa-RED, behind it at a very rapid pace so that we can actually push down into the adipose tissue. And you can see in the top right corner of the diagram there, we're able to produce multiple services for the patient, whether it be skin tightening, cellulite removal, stretch mark fading, contouring, or full-blown weight reduction, and dump a ton of fat out, utilize it and with the cellular metabolism, and burn up about 1/2 pound, which is great. We vary our pulsing depending on the treatment. So it's not a one size fits all. You don't just hit go. We have to actually vary the program parameters depending on each individual client's needs. And we've made it easy though. Our UI system is really easy to use, and your staff is going to have a ton of training on this. Production's pretty fast with this too. 3 to 4 patients an hour when you guys are really hungry. So again, the treatments are very short, which is nice. So, that invisa-RED room, when you're looking at dollar for dollar, it's going to be probably one of your highest performing rooms in-house.
Yeah.
You only get about an 8x10 treatment room for it. So,
well, when I was really being educated at the booth, I realized that even me, I thought that red light by itself was effective because there's so many devices out there. But then when I realized that you were using a non-invasive cold laser class 3B, and that you have the dual coherent laser, and then you have the infrared component to it to go deeper. That's what really I feel why so many devices are not getting the results that people are expecting. And then I was watching even all the demos that you were doing, because you had such a big line and you have patient after patient, and people were like walking out, okay, 1.5 inches, or 2 pounds, 1.5 pounds, or whatever. And I was just saying to myself, wow, if people can see results that quickly, imagine if they just buy a program that is 12 visits or 10 visits or 9 visits or whatever. And that's where I saw the easiness of saying, man, this is going to work really well, not only helping these people eradicate and decrease the obesity in their lives, but also all that inflammation that goes with it and all of those challenges that are keeping them from, getting rid of their back pain and other things because they're carrying all that extra weight on them.
Yeah, and another beautiful part of this is the service is unattended. So you've got staff that's doing the treatments too.
Yeah.
And you can utilize your staff members for other things. They can hook the patient up, walk away, get back on the rehab floor, do some PT or some stretch work, or even do some billing if needed, which is really
easy to use. And what I notice is like the pads, they stay. I mean, the way you design those pads, and I don't know what process you use, but the pads stay within the areas that you want to work on without feeling like you have to hold on to it or worried about they're going to slip off like many of the other devices I've used in the past. So that's really exciting, man. I tell you, I loved it. I was so excited to do it.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So next up is going to be just the overview of programs, right? So we've got, think of this as two different service lines. You've got your weight loss, which is actual patients that need to lose weight, 10, 20, 30, 100 pounds. And these are patients that are overweight or obese, and you'll put them into the weight loss program, which starts off at 30 days at a time. We like to do short term, get a lot of results. And then if we get close to the goal, we can always continue. If we don't hit our goal, if they need 50, 60 pounds, we can just continue to do this. It's safe for long-term use.
I love it.
So the weight loss program to start off with is 12 sessions. So it's 4 to 6 weeks, depending if the patient can come in. So 2 to 3 times a week. Your national average is around $1,200, depending on the demographic area. Where you're located in Dallas, you'll be closer to that 12 to 1,400 there. One thing that we will do, if we haven't already sent it to you yet, is the demographic research. So we actually assist with the pricing tremendously. It's your call because it's your practice. We just try to encourage you to be available to the majority of the patients that are out there. But they also get, what's really great is a nutritional program. I know you currently have a phenomenal supplement line. You could add that adjunct to it, and that would accelerate results as well. But the patients actually lose 10 to 20 pounds of actual fat per month in the weight loss program. And they do it literally by taking 12, 15-minute naps, which is great. And then again, we'll cover specifics on pricing once we dive more into the training on another training session.
I like it.
Now, the aesthetics programs, they'll range anywhere between 3 to 15 sessions because we've got a bunch of different services we can perform. Cellulite elimination, we can do spot-specific fat removal, we can do skin tightening, and we can do stretch mark fading. So depending on what the need and the want of the patient is, and again, these are patients that are a little bit more fit. They have less than 10 pounds of fat to lose, right? This is more of a sculpting aesthetic type of treatment here. So it'll range depending on a couple different factors. One being obviously skin tone, one being the severity of the issue, and then the service. So we're going to have your staff trained on how to eyeball it and decipher how many sessions are needed and grade out the cellulite and things like that. But on average, 9 to 12 sessions runs about $2,000 per package nationally. The great thing about the aesthetics patients is they like getting their treatments done as fast as possible. So they show up and they're able to do this every day if they want, which is really nice. Those folks, you never have any compliance issues with them either, which is really good. But it literally changes the way they look. And it does it just as good as liposuction. I mean, visually, we're taking photos after treatments and you can see the transformation literally happen instantly, which is so nice. So
when, I start thinking about the kind of money that people are spending in plastic surgery, and I have friends of mine that are plastic surgeons, and I mean, they are so busy, and people are spending not $2,000, they're spending $10,000, $20,000 to do a similar process. So if we can alleviate those people from not having to do surgery and say, hey, before you book that surgery, why don't you do a program with us, and let's just see if this will get you where you want to go. And that way we don't have to submit you to that kind of stuff. So this is very exciting because I already saw the business models that, I mean, the weight loss is one thing. This, as you know, people are obsessed on how they look and they want to look perfect, especially when they're wearing their bathing suits or whatever. So this is a really beautiful thing that you're offering in addition to the weight loss.
yeah, and a lot of the patients, once they finish their weight loss service, they lose the weight. Now they move into aesthetics because they want to start getting picky about their body, certain areas.
Yeah. Oh no, I can see already the referral source behind it too, because they will get so excited they're going to tell everybody about it.
Yeah, and another good thing is there's no downtime for them either. So, it's not like post-surgery, they've got 6 weeks, they've got tubes dripping out of their body and things like that. Literally, they do a treatment and they don't have to miss work, which is awesome.
I love it. I love it.
So next thing is really just where can we do the treatments on them? A couple highlights about them. Again, some people do want to have like multiple areas done at once, and we can perform that. You can see the paddles there, and I know you know what they look like, but we have that hinging mechanism where we can vary the sequence of the paddles. So we could literally hook 2 together. We could hook all 12 together. So we can actually cover any area of the body, and it's minimal strapping because there's the hinge point that's got about 130 degrees of rotation. So we can blank the body. But we can do multiple areas in the same day, which is really nice. So if a lady wants to do her thighs, her waist, and her biceps, we can do that, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Or if she flips over, we can do hamstrings, we can do upper back, any area below the chin. Okay.
Well, I was going to ask you when it came to this, because I think I asked you at the booth, but are there any contraindications when it comes to this that you have seen over the years?
Yeah, so FDA does mandate us to put certain safety regulations in place. Remember, their job is for safety and efficacy. So the contraindications that are listed, they're very minimal because this is very safe for the body. But the primary one's going to be currently having cancer. Remember, we are using infrared light or laser, actually, which can stimulate the growth of cancer. So if a patient has cancer, we can't do it. Now, cancer-free for 6 months, then we're good to go. Okay. Type 1 diabetes is a contraindication. Type 2 diabetes, we're okay for as long as they're not insulin dependent. Again, we're releasing a lot of glucose in the body. We can spike sugar.
Yeah, I can see this helping that type 2.
Correct, all day long.
Yeah.
And then we also have photosensitivity. So if somebody has photosensitive, they can't go in the sun, they can't use this. So there's very few of them. And then obviously, 18 or older. If a patient is, post-pregnancy and they're nursing, we just ask them to go ahead and pump and dump because we're releasing some toxins into the body, but they're fine to breastfeed 8 to 12 hours after treatment, which is good.
So do we have like a checklist or something that we can ask the patients to fill out? Do you have any of this? And then that way we can make sure that whether they're a good candidate for the treatment or not.
Yes, sir. So the initial paperwork, all the paperwork's provided, liability waivers, it's fully turnkey. So your contraindications are listed there on the initial consult paperwork. If they do check one of those boxes, obviously we're going to teach the case manager how to dive in and ask those questions. And in a lot of cases, if they do mark one, they can always go to their specialist or their primary care to have it signed off on, which is good. So we do provide that for you always.
Well, that's one of the things most of my friends and clients that are your clients, they said to me, one of the things that I love about those guys is, man, their service is impeccable. Anytime you call, anything you need, but that you guys have really thought it out to make it really simple for us to implement. So I'm really excited about that. So this is great. I mean, look at all these opportunities to treat different areas where people are obsessed, whether it's their cheeks or their neck or their arms or their back or their hips. This is great.
Yeah, and another thing is we don't just manufacture the device and sell it and train, but we also have our own facilities that we operate in. So, knowing what paperwork, how the flow works, and how to operate it internally within the clinical setting is our expertise.
Yeah.
Currently we have 5 facilities that we actually own, and we're not just we don't just sell it, we're also a client, right? So. Which is really good. So we've seen all the challenges and been able to figure it out, which is really good.
Is there a way that when a patient is in front of me, as you know, they're going to see the technology and they're going to want everything, right? They're going to want weight loss. They're going to want the inches loss, the aesthetics. Is there a way to determine, a protocol of what would be the best way to onboard them? And where do we begin? Do we begin with the fat loss and the weight loss? Do we begin with the aesthetics? So what's your opinion?
Yeah, so really it's going to depend on the condition of the patient. So if they are overweight, if they're over a certain percentage of body fat, then we want to guide them into losing weight and getting healthy first, right? It's not just about, we want to service them greatly, but we also want to put them in the best position for health and wellness. Yeah. So if they're above a certain percentage of body fat, or they need to lose a good bit of fat, we're going to put them in a weight loss treatment. Once they're done with that program, we'll move them into aesthetics. Yeah, is normally how we do it. The patient, after educating them on the benefits of it, a lot of times they feel really good about it. And we can do both. It just, hey, let's do one first, focus on that, and then move into the aesthetics component.
I love it. Okay.
Sure. So next is kind of like just, we're here in the onboarding. So what can you expect from us now? Great. You're now the client, right? So we've got to start training the staff. Yeah. So we've shipped the equipment, but we've got to get the training up and running. So staff is going to be doing a couple online modules. They're going to have some Zoom calls with us like this as well.
Awesome.
We're going to get them all certified on how to utilize it. We can even certify your janitor on it if you like.
So, I love it. No. And as you know, many of our chiropractic assistants, many times they're so into this and they just get so excited. They just want to learn everything possible because, as you know, they're going to be the ones using it too. It's a great perk for them.
Yeah. And, there's 2 sides to the training. There's going to be the technical usage side and safety side, but then there's also going to be the sales training as well, which is something that's very beneficial because, we need these staff members confident in placing people in packages and being able to sell them on, hey, this is the value of it. This is what it's going to cost. So we do a great job with the sales and conversion training. Also the conversion into that chiropractic day 1 exam as well. Okay. So we teach great communication on that. Also how to field phone calls, telephone inquiries that are coming in, things of that nature.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I love that.
Once they're trained, we're going to go ahead and set up the on-site. We're going to actually come on site with you guys.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's what Doug told me. I couldn't believe it that you guys are actually come on site. I love that.
Yeah, it's white glove service from us. We've always done it, and it's not something that will ever change. So we're going to send our trainers out there to train the staff live.
Love it.
Doing it here over the computer is great, but when we're in there working with the staff as part of the team, it's just so much better, and it really boosts confidence with the staff members, and they get a lot out of the training. They have our total unattended total undivided attention for the whole day, which is great.
Wow.
So once we do that, we're also going to conduct some consults that day as well, so that we can take the case manager through an actual consult and get some revenue going for you guys on that day.
I love it. Yeah, when I started hearing about your marketing and how you launched this and all this stuff, because you guys, have a marketing agency that you've just made it into your own to support our success. And that's the part that I was even excited about, because I have all these followers in social media and I have my email database. And of course, as patients, we have all of our patient database, but we don't know how to leverage that. So you teaching me and leveraging that with your resources, that's the thing that got me really excited, because I know we can get a lot of appointments very quickly. I mean, who's going to say no to this, you know?
Correct. Yeah, I mean, initially, again, we were talking about ROI earlier. I mean, I know you've seen the YouTube, there's probably 120 doctors on there that have paid their machine off within the first 24 hours.
I know, that's crazy. I never seen that. I went through that and I was just couldn't believe it. It was one after the other after the other. And I'm like, and then I realized that when you have a product that is in high demand, but it works, that's the perfect combination of a success, right? I mean, but if I have a product that is in high demand and people get this solution, it doesn't get anywhere. So I think that that's why these doctors are having the success, because so many of my clients that told me, Fab, you won't believe how quickly you can make your return on that investment. But more importantly, it's not just the return on the investment from these laser treatments, it's more how many patients do I convert into my other services. If I'm a chiropractor, then I'm selling them on my chiropractic package. If I do decompression, now I'm selling them on chiropractic and decompression. If I'm doing regen medicine, I'm selling them on chiropractic, decompression, and regen. And that is the value that I saw. Oh my God, this is just going to be such a great investment.
And then the best part is after that initial onsite, your marketing has actually already started. So you've got literally weeks of consults booked out for you because we perform that marketing, that paid for marketing for you.
Love it.
Once that's over, obviously we can do continued marketing as well.
Yeah.
But again, the marketing support component comes in after that, because there's going to be a lot of things that you guys want to run in-house, promos, print, ad work, things like that. If you don't have the landing page built, we'll build it for you.
Love it. Love it.
And we can brand anything that you guys need. We can edit videos and everything that's necessary as far as marketing goes.
Yeah, I love it.
But yeah, so that's pretty much what to expect from us.
Okay.
Obviously, currently you have staff. Once if you're going to get busy, so you may have to look into potentially hiring another person to help field all volume.
But the good news, I don't have to hire a nurse practitioner. I don't have to hire a chiropractor. I don't have to hire a high value. I can hire, somebody for maybe $20 an hour, and somebody that can simply just be there to assist the patients, putting them on and putting them off, right, or something like that.
Correct.
Yeah.
So a layman can do it. So yeah, it's not a provider.
Well, let's talk a little bit, just briefly, because I want to understand. When I spoke to you guys, you said you were going to support me initially with the marketing. So what does that entail, and at what point then does that run out, and then what other offers do you have after that? Because my biggest concern is if I get busy very quickly, am I going to have to get another unit? And when do I know when is the best time to expand that? Because I can see, I see so many of our chiropractic offices using rooms for massage therapy that may or may not give them enough value. And then I see something like this, that if I'm making, more money and unattended, where I can run 2 or 3 machines in one small room, I mean, you can only see the kind of value and the kind of money that can be made just out of one little room in my office. So tell me a little bit about the marketing, exactly what is included when I purchase a machine.
Yeah, those are all really great questions. So as far as the marketing goes, we start running ads for you guys through social media, and that's on the house. And we do that so that you guys can have instant success, but also so we can prove to you that we know what we're doing on the marketing end, because we're more of a show me type of company, right? So we're going to run ads for you upwards of maybe 60 days, depending on, the flow that comes in. Sometimes it could be a little bit longer, depending on that. And then when that's over, and we've proven to you that we can back up what we say in driving those patients in, you can continue to do the marketing with us as well. And we're not just limited to social media. There's tons of different things that we can do. As far as what you're looking at, maybe budget wise, right, for campaigns, what we really like to use is a rule of thumb as far as marketing. And the rule of thumb is based off of how much revenue you want to produce in your practice on a monthly basis. So let's say the goal is $30,000 a month in revenue. We're going to take about 10 to 12% of that. And that's what you should dump into your marketing, which is very inexpensive. The return, the ROI on weight loss marketing is anywhere between 4 to 1, all the way up to 10 to 1. So you don't have to dedicate a ton of funds, but just use that as your monthly budget. It's a monthly bill. I'm gonna dump 10% of my revenue goal into marketing every single month. As far as when you're going to need the next machine, so it's really based off of production. Easily one device can handle about 75 to 100 treatments, per week. So I would say about 25 patients at one time. Once we get close to that mark, it's really time to start looking at getting another one in there, because we have practices that are doing 50, 60 new patients a month, which is
and once the patient receives the outcomes that they want, let's say, Fab, I just want to lose, let's say 10 pounds, to give a number. Are there programs that you guys are going to teach me, and how do I put them on maintenance? And because I can see this being a great way to retain a patient, right? Not just to help them achieve their goals, but to get them coming every so often for maintenance, which will then help me offer them my other services that I have in my office.
Yeah, the maintenance package is great. And about 30 to 40% of the patients, after they get done with the program, they opt into maintenance. And that's going to be anywhere between 1 to 2 times a month, which is really nice, because we can actually schedule that maintenance session for when they come in for their chiropractic maintenance, and they can knock it out together.
Yeah. But
so
it keeps the flowing going, and it keeps them engaging, because they may be not wanting to come for the chiropractic adjustment because they're not as much pain as they were initially, but they're not going to miss this because they don't want to gain that weight back. I mean, that's what the psychology of this, it blows my mind, because it's a great way. One thing that I teach in communication is you have to be relevant to what's important to the patient. Many times as doctors, we think their pain is what's relevant to them, but that's not the case, because if it was, they will come to us and stay with us long-term. But how they look is a lot more important to them in many cases, because everybody's watching them, and everybody's going to say, hey, Mary, it looks like you're gaining a little bit of weight, or I'm embarrassed to take my clothes off in front of my husband or my wife because I feel like I gained too much weight, and so that is what I think is relevant. But then bring in the clinical value, bring in the other services, bring in the value of chiropractic and other services. And I think that that's what really is going to take this thing to a whole new level.
Yeah, it helps with compliance tremendously as the patient's going through the plan of care for chiropractic, because, as soon as their pain level goes down, they disappear off the face of the earth. So just make sure that they get the invisa-RED after they've done their rehab, and then invisa-RED before they leave. If they do invisa-RED first, they may make up an excuse of why they got to go pick up the kids and miss their adjustment,
I love it. And so, Jonathan, anything from your end as I'm a doctor, and what is it that I need to be like? What are you seeing that's going to help me really get the most out of this unit?
Yeah, so the big thing is going to be on your internal launch day, just making
sure. And you can take off the screen if you want to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I feel so little on that little thing.
Here we are. The big thing to prepare for your launch day is you're going to be just activating your internal patient base, letting everybody know that you are bringing this in. So for like the next couple of weeks while you're preparing for that on-site day where we're sending our rep out, let every patient that comes through the office know, hey, we're bringing in a new fat reduction laser. We'd love for you to come in and try it. And just
do I do that with, I know that I have my database of all my patients. Do I do that with flyers? Should I put a banner together, or do you have the graphics and things that I can leverage?
And we actually have a whole system built for launching the service. And it's going to be a combination of some print media, some text messaging, some emails, and some scripting over the phone to invite them in. And the communication.
Oh, that's great.
And we have a great video that goes in the waiting room too, so the patients see it when they come in, and they can visually see the before and afters and all that great
Oh
stuff.
my gosh.
You'll have all the patients that are actively coming in, they'll know, but this is also a great opportunity to reactivate some of those patients that maybe have gone inactive. So
That's what I was
through the
thinking.
email and the text.
Yeah, that's the reactivations is a huge part of this too. Because they know you and they trust you. They just haven't been to you in a while. And you guys give them a call and now they have a reason to come back.
Yeah. Is it something that I would give you my database, or is it something that you give me the information and then my team can easily send the email or the text or the call, right?
Yeah, so we would give you the content and then you would just upload it into your database or your whatever your email system was to send it out.
Okay, perfect.
And for
then
the
emails
doctor's offices that don't have mass emailing or software like that, we actually do have things built out for them.
Okay.
You can download certain apps, and we have a step-by-step on how to do all of these things.
Okay, so let's say that I do have a database in an Excel perhaps, but I don't have a one of those softwares that does the emails for me. You have something that I can leverage in the meantime to push those emails out for me. Okay, that's awesome.
Correct. Yeah, so we have this, we recommend we have links to all the softwares that are and apps that are free while you guys are getting set up. And we have the whole build out process, which is really easy. So
okay, perfect.
even starting your own Facebook page, because some people don't have it. So we have all the tutorials. We can teach any of it. We can assist in all of that.
Yeah, and on the
I can already see a Facebook group on this, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can even create a Facebook group just on weight loss. People that want to do that and then get so many clients and patients from that just because there's so many people that are looking for that, you know. Anything else, guys? I'm excited and I really appreciate your time because I mean, I really believe that anytime I invest in something, I want to get the most out of it. And I've already, my mind is spinning on trying to figure out different things, but what I really like is the fact that you guys have all that marketing in place, ready for me to leverage instead of me having to create, because, you know, creating artwork, creating the proper language, creating the proper campaigns, that sometimes can take a lot of time. And if you don't know what you're doing, it's frustrating. But if I can just plug and play and I can just say, hey, I got 1,000 patients, let's go and see if we can reactivate all those people. Or I got so many people, 300 people coming this week, you know, what flyers do I need to give every one of them so they can start not only coming themselves for that service, but telling their loved ones that we have that service now in our office.
Yeah, you guys are going to be able to hit the ground sprinting just like everybody else.
I love it. Well, when I saw those testimonials of those people that did the launch the way you recommended, and within a short period of time, they were able to recoup their investment, I was like, my gosh, why wouldn't everybody do this? You know?
Yeah,
so I was very excited about that. Now, I saw somewhere that you also told me that because I have the opportunity that I got this before December 31st, that there may be some kind of tax credit. Can you tell me a little bit about what I need to do there?
Yeah, it's actually, so it's tax section 179. Okay. So it's 100% deduction through tax section 179, which is great. So you make money. Obviously, you've got personal income that you're going to have to pay taxes on. This actually gives you 100% deduction off of it rolls over to your personal income. So it's important that obviously the machine.
Your accountant knows. So I just need to let my accountant know to add this to so I can get that credit.
Correct. So it qualifies for that. It's a medical device. And it's really it's a great way to save about, you know, I don't know, an extra 15, 20 grand off of your personal taxes that you
I love it. Well, I can't wait to have the team come in and show me and train my staff. And this is very exciting. Anything else that you can think of that I didn't ask?
Well, I just want to kind of close it with, you know, number one, thank you very much for putting your faith in us. We're going to do our absolute best like we do for everybody. And we're going to create two things. We're going to create business success within your practice, but most importantly, patient success for you. And we're an extension of your family there.
I love it.
Practices that utilize our training the most get the most success. The practices that utilize our marketing the most get the most success. And we're here to make sure that you guys thrive and you guys kill it. And your launch day that you beat the Dempseys, who actually was a Texas client, they put up 70 grand in their first 2 days. So
Wow.
I know you guys can do it. We need to knock them off the hill.
Let me tell you, I don't like to reinvent the wheel. If something is working, I'm just excited you can leverage what I work hard in building my database of patients and followers. So that way we can leverage those people to benefit the most from this technology. And so I'm going to let your team guide me and follow whatever they say, because you have enough testimonials that and friends of mine that would just swear, just do what they say. And trust me, you will be happy with your investment, you know?
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you guys kick butt out there in Dallas.
Yeah. Well, Jonathan, let me know when we can set up that visit. And thanks, guys, for your time. And I really appreciate you. And happy holidays, too.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Bye.
And happy birthday, Jonathan. I wish I could be there. Next time I see you, we'll celebrate together.
Sounds great. Awesome.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Bye-bye.